demonstrated commitment to a struggle. The struggle that has been made a political imperative to ensure Liberia is rid of drugs and drugs trafficking, which cannot happen unless the key masterminds of drug trafficking at the top echelon of the governance sphere are brought to justice. We have every reason to believe the entire leadership of the national security structure of our country must not be a part of the investigative process, because these security institutions themselves are accused of colluding with drug traffickers. By extension, our demands are clear, as was propounded by the different speakers that mounted the podium today. We've come to reiterate that demand, that there is a need, and we insist of the existence of an independent body to investigate the $19 million drug consignment that, as far as government's reluctance is concerned, appears to have come to our country spiritually. Because we don't understand what is government waiting for to name the source of the drug consignment, to name the sponsors of that consignment, to name the key masterminds and the architects of the $19 million drug consignment. And government's silence and their reluctance to commit to a transparent investigation only reinforces the huge suspicion that they are shielding or protecting key government officials. Amongst them are the following suspects. Gregory Coleman is suspected of colluding with the cartel. The National Security Advisor, Samuel Kofi Woods, is suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. The Vice President, whose relationship with perceived and alleged drug traffickers is suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. Mandela Cooper, who works in the President's office, is also suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. In fact, we've learned that key government items change the insignia and change the label on the drug consignment when it enters Liberia's territorial perimeters. They stamp, they place diplomatic stamps on the drug packages to invade inspection as the drug was UK bound. So that now has been achieved allegedly without the assistance of key government actors. No doubt the Mandela Cooper has been accused, and we insist that the likes of Mandela Cooper submit to an investigation. Not just that, the man himself that is charged with the responsibility of investigating drug trafficking, Fitzgerald Biago, who was recommended to that position by Gregory Coleman, should also be investigated. In fact, he is usually suspected because a credible media institution, a credible media practitioner that is highly respected, just revealed the possibility of his driver transporting drugs using his vehicle. And the officer in charge of the DEA had his driver transporting drugs. That by extension means, that the officer in charge may also be liable to shielding or colluding with drug traffickers. So Biago should not be in charge of this investigation. And if Biago is also accused or perceived as colluding with drug traffickers, Gregory Coleman cannot also be free, because Gregory Coleman's best friend is Fitzgerald Biago. In fact, we are hearing that they have a strange relationship we will go into at a later date, and that the proximity of Gregory Coleman and his main man, his main friend, Fitzgerald Biago, has also created the possibility, amongst other things, for Coleman to be suspected. And so Coleman cannot also be in charge of investigating drug traffickers. When Gregory Coleman at the Senate, when he made appearance to answer questions about the scandal, was openly defending a drug trafficker. The police director is on record for defending one of the suspects of drug trafficking on national radio at the Senate. I don't understand why the Senate is still silent and that they are not acting to call for the suspension of Gregory Coleman, who is not defending or protecting civilians for the national interest, but was defending and protecting a drug trafficker at the Senate on national TV. So by virtue of this fight, it is surprising why Joseph Walker has not taken action against the government officials, except where it is perceived to be true that even his children, some of his children, are also under allegation of colluding with drug traffickers. At least 2 of his children have been alleged to have colluded with drug traffickers. So we cannot understand why this investigation is not going anywhere. We cannot understand why Joseph Walker has fled Monrovia County and is seeking refuge in Bombay County. He fled with tail between his legs to run away from peaceful protesters, to run for his own people. Whenever you run from your boss, it means you are most likely created or committed a crime. Joseph Walker is a servant of the people. It means today has seen the convergence of his bosses and employers. So for him to be running away to Bombay County goes to establish the extent to which Walker himself may be protecting or shielding members of the cartel. So it is clear that the Walker government is protecting a drug cartel that is allegedly responsible for transnational crime, according to Biago himself. So Biago now said that except where Biago has sufficient information to establish the individuals that are involved, even though he's not calling their names because he appears to be the main man of Gregory Coleman. So I call you to say thank you to you. You are the heroes and the heroes of this process. We say thank you to the independent media. You are the heroes of Liberia's free space. You continue to dispense your responsibilities with credibility and with transparency, and we say thank you to the press. Out of this song today, compared to the lives of Gregory Coleman and Jeremy Pia, that were armed with petrol bombs, in some cases people were disobedient, illegal arms. It was rather state security items that were deployed amongst us with sinister motive. But the sophistication of our people was able to contain the threat and disarm a state item of a dangerous weapon that was loaded fully. And in view of his placement in my proximity, that could have created a dangerous state of affairs amongst protesters, possibly kill people, innocent people, or create chaos, or fear of pandemonium, and then put the blame on protesters. But thank God, God is alive and he was detained. He will display for you the gun, which has serial number, and by tomorrow we will turn it over to the international community so they can be transferred to the government. And let the international actors see the sinister plot, see the draconian agenda of the government to kill protesters and put the blame on protesters themselves. So thank God that true cross of the ground righteous again. Having said that, we will always be peaceful. But workers fleeing peaceful protest and running away to bombing does not end the problem. If you think that we will get protest one day and go to bed, it's a joker. You can have all your spam for the longest, you will come outside and you will be met with the resistance of protesters. From this moment, this climaxes this process, and that the process will not elevate or graduate to a second level. We are announcing sustained civil disobedience against this government, and we will not rest until the cartel is dismantled, until the key masterminds of the $19 million drug scandal are brought to book. The child that says his mother will not sleep, itself will not sleep. If Walker does not dismantle this cartel, The people themselves will dismantle the cartel break by break. And those that are responsible for promoting drug trafficking, that are benefiting from the process of drug trafficking, at the top echelon of the government process, we will keep taking acceptable civil disobedience action within the confines of the law until sufficient pressure to be brought to bear for those of workers to do the needful and dismantle the cartel and prosecute individuals that are responsible for the $19 million lost scandal. Amanda! So therefore, in commitment to our promise to always be peaceful, our people will peacefully return to their various destinations and will stay on the alert as we start the next stage of the process, that is civil disobedience, that we keep pressurizing the local government until the cartel is dismantled. Thank you. God bless Liberia and set the stage for drug trafficking under Joseph Mulbah Morlu.
Folks, that's it. You listen to the lead organizer Mulbah Morlu saying that the protest is not over. Update. The July 17th protest has finally come to an end. Protesters will not retire. Now protesters are retiring, but we are Aaron Kuban.
So, what Morlu said that they're going to be carrying on sustained civil disobedience, meaning there will be sporadic protests across the country or civil disobedience that is not going to be announced. When you talk about the gun, and one may wonder where is the individual that took the gun? Questions that need to be answered by Morlu, but he did not give us the opportunity to ask him. Once we have the opportunity to ask him. But before I would like to wind down on this entire day of our broadcast here from Capitol Hill with Mulbah Morlu, the S.T.A.N.D-led protest coalition, and it's and Morlu has ended this protest here. This is DN News Liberia. I would like to say thanks to all of our reporters. The man George Cooper, who was here earlier this morning, bringing you bit up to the protest. Uriah Fifth Yimpan was also here. He joined us later. Of course, our Chief Executive Officer, Chokon Flammer, was also here. My name is Aaron Kuban, and together we brought you this coverage of the Solidarity and Trust for a New Day protest action. The police officers from the Joint Security are still posted here, ensuring that the road is clear. And so this is how it has ended here with Mulbah Morlu and his S.T.A.N.D group ending this protest. But he said there will be sustained civil disobedience in the coming days. He alleged that the President of the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador Joseph Mulbah, fled the country, he was. Not the country, but the city, and went to Bombing County on his fine. That's why he said. Morlu said that it has not ended. They will continue to protest and bring the government feet to the fire to ensure that the investigation into the $29 million judge, or $19 million judge that is finally brought to bear. So this is how it has ended here with the protest coalition in here up here. The Liberia National Police, Joint Security as well. They played their part, and it has ended peacefully. It has ended peacefully with not a single stone, from any side, not to talk about the release of tear gas on these protesters. So it was peaceful, traffic flow At some point in time, there was some interruptions, but the police managed to have this entire thing calm and honor. And then the police managed to bring every situation under control here. And now we have had a peaceful day here from Capitol Hill. Once again, we want to appreciate all of our staff who brought you live coverage here from Capitol Hill. And we're going to follow up, most especially on the firearm displayed by Mulbah Morlu. Mulbah Morlu displayed a firearm. For me, I'm not really familiar with arms, but what we usually call it was a pistol, and he had a magazine removed from it. He alleged that he was arrested from a government operative, but he did not show the individual, but show us the gun. And so this is Monrovia. Traffic is flowing, and it has ended up here with every side winning, no confusion, no violence. However, we did not see the presentation of petition to the government, unlike other protests. So this is how we like to end it up here. Josh Cooper, Uriah Faviempan, Choco Flamma, Aaron Kuban. We've been around bringing you this live update. For and on behalf of the entire team, we'd like to say thanks for watching and keep following DN News Liberia.